Well, my last Dimir Rogues build video did so well that I had to bring it back. This time we've tweaked the numbers. This is a list from Imamura Norikazu. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but this comes from a small Japanese tournament. I am super stoked they top 8'd. It was 32 players, so I'm hoping this will be a pretty decent build. Judging by the numbers and everything, I like this. There are some cards that in the last video, I'll link that up there if you want to go check the last video out. But we are playing a couple of new cards in this deck. Not new as in new to Magic, but new to the deck, new to the archetype. So let's start with those, and then we will get into the meat and potatoes of this deck. If you're very unaware of what this deck is, this is Dimir Rogues. We want to play a tempo game. We want to Fatal Push and Thoughtseize and drown in the Loch, go for the throat, while also applying pressure with our Thieves Guild's Enforcers, Soaring Thought-Thieves, Fairy Masterminds, Brazen Borrowers. But we've also got some new cards that we didn't play last time. So here we go. Let's talk about them. We have Zareth San, the Trickster. This is a 4/4 for 5 Dimir colors. It has Flash, and you can pay 4 mana to return an unblocked attacking rogue you control, and you get to put it onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and whenever this deals combat damage to a player, you may put target permanent card from a player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So it kind of has ninjutsu, and this is any graveyard, so you can target your opponents, you can target your graveyard. Very, very powerful, and I'm super stoked. I have not played with this one yet. I haven't, our last video didn't play this, so I'm super stoked. Then we have Shieldred the Apocalypse, just overall one of the best cards in paper. As I understand it, this card is like $1 million. Worth it, it's very good. It's a house. It has Death Touch, so it blocks extremely well whenever you don't necessarily always want to attack with it because of combat tricks and shenanigans from our opponents. So very, very sweet. And then we have Into the Story. We weren't playing this in our last build. We were not playing this in the last build. We were playing the draw spell, the delve. Draw 3. I can't remember the name. I'm blanking on. But anyway, Into the Story is a 7 mana spell, but it costs 3 less to cast if an opponent has 7 or more cards in their graveyard, and you get to draw 4 cards. So pretty decent. And then let's take a look at the rest of the list. We've got 2 Spell Pierces. We've got 3 Fatal Push. We've got 4 Thieves Guild Enforcer. That is our 1-drop. We've got 4 Thoughtseize full main deck because Thoughtseize is super good with Zareth. So I wanted to find a list that was playing Zareth main deck and 4 Thoughtseize because it seems like a great combo. You'd be able to rip something out of their hand, and then later on in the game you can put it on your side of the battlefield. And it includes Planeswalkers too, so that's pretty nutty. Moving on to the 2-drops, Fairy Mastermind, Yuta. I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards from March of the Machines that I've played so far. Flying Flash 2/1. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card, and you can force them to draw. So they'll draw 1, you'll draw 2. You can do that in step. It comes up pretty frequently, actually, in the games that I played. We got 2 Go for the Throat, just a catch-all general great card. Removes opposing Shieldreds and just removes basically everything relevant in the format. Then we've got 4 Drown in the Loch. The Premier, this is excellent because we are going to be milling our opponent quite a bit. So Drown in the Loch is excellent. It's a counterspell and a removal spell, all for 2 mana. It can almost hit anything because, again, we are milling our opponent almost every single turn if things are going in our favor, that is. So, yeah, Drown in the Loch is great. And then we have Soaring Thought-Thief. But yeah, Soaring Thought-Thief is here, of course. This is one of the best rogues. Flying Flash. It is a 1/3, and as long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, it gets +1, +0. All rogues do. And whenever one or more rogues you control attack, each opponent mills 2. So pretty decent. Brazen Borrower, kind of a catch-all removal spell with Petty Theft. And then, of course, Brazen Borrower is a rogue, a fairy rogue. So the 3/1 flyer that can only block creatures with flying. Nighthawk Scavenger. I went from being extremely low on this card to being in a position where I think this card is pretty strong, especially in this deck. It is a rogue, of course, so it gets buffed by Soaring Thought-Thief, and it triggers from the Thieves Guild Enforcer, or triggers Thieves Guild Enforcer. So this thing can get pretty big. It's kind of like a gigantic Tarmogoyf that flies and has Death Touch and Lifelink. So pretty sick. And then, of course, we just talked about Zareth, Shieldred, and Into the Story. The mana base, very, very solid. We're only playing 2 colors, and we're not really playing any, colorless lands. We do have Castle Locthwain, we have Hall, we have Hive of the Eye Tyrant, Otawara, Urborg. So we have all of the, all of the utility lands in our colors. Mana base is real solid, 24 lands. Moving on over to the sideboard, we do have Duress as a 2 of, control decks and combo decks. Still very good, still very prevalent. Ray of Enfeeblement. This card is mostly for the Greasefang matchup, giving it -4/-4, killing it before that they can enter the combat step. Very, very important. Moving on to the 2-drops, we've got Ether Gust, good against green, good against red. Has a lot of additional contextual uses as well. Disdainful Stroke, great against any deck that wants to go big. So we could play this against green. We could play this against Lotus. We could play this against Control. Test of Talents, same kind of thing. You want to use this against Lotus. You want to use this against Control. Weathered Runestone, non-land permanent cards in graveyards and libraries. Can't enter the battlefield, and players can't cast spells from the graveyards or libraries. Very, very good against Lotus, so we like that. Ritual Soot, of course, this is our Wrath of choice. Creature, destroy all creatures with mana value 3 or less, and then 1 extra Into the Story against the grindy matchups. That's the list. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But with all that out of the way, let's jump into some games. Of the day. We lost the die roll. Let's see what our opponent's up to and if we can keep. This hand is pretty land heavy. I think I'm going to keep it, though. Do we want to keep this? Let's mulligan. We need action, I think. Well, that's even less action and less good. Well. Yeah, we'll mulligan. All right, well. Well, we kind of worked ourselves into a shoot there, didn't we? This is a very similar hand, just with less cards, so sweet. All right. They play Valakut Stoneforge. Okay. Thing in the Eyes. All right. Well, let's Thoughtseize them. We'll take that one. Make disappear is pretty good. All right, they play Shivan Reeve. And pass. So we got double Soaring Thought-Thief, pretty decent. They're going to cycle a shark. I assume that's what this is, yep. Still haven't removed any counters off that thing in the ice, though. We'll be able to block the token. Block the shark. All right. Galvanic bombardment. All right, that's fine. Can we draw a land? Well, it is a land. Can't complain too much. We got exactly what we asked for. All right, so we officially do not know what's in their hand. We officially do not know what's in our opponent's hand. Riverglide, 3 in hand. All right. Soaring Thought-Thief. Let's see. Do they have a counterspell? They do. Okay. Cannot pay for that. Yeah, we'll play that. Let's just do this now. Might as well. No reason not to. Just get a... If we wait till they attack, we just give them an extra draw step to draw a counterspell or something. So we'll just do it at our main phase. Ooh, okay. That's the first time we've drawn that card. That's exciting. We've got Brazen Borrower. Okie doke. So we can kind of let this hit us, I think, and then cast Zareth because we have the Drown in the Loch. They're playing a Counterflux. That's really spicy. Play a land. Wow, they're kind of flooding. Well, that's their problem, not mine. Ooh, it instantly resolves, too. Heck yeah. Well, let's attack with Zareth. See how this works. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't quite cast Shark Typhon. We will cast Thing in the Ice, though. Oh, I goofed. We could have got a free Shark Typhon. I'm dummy. Read the cards, folks. All right, we'll combat. Yes. All right, pass back. Wow, Zareth's nuts. Zareth is nuts. It's the way. I see the way now. I see why we're playing a 5-mana spell in this deck. And they scoop it up, so we take game 1. All right. Holy smokes. Well, Ether Gust is going to be decent, I believe. Well, Yo, what's up, Michael Jackson? How you doing? GG's, thank you, thank you. I noticed you followed yesterday. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, my friend. All right, what don't we need here? Am I like overboarding? Maybe we don't need into this story. Maybe like trim some of our ones. Need one more cut. Maybe like a Nighthawk. All right. There we go. All right, this hand is pretty decent. Nothing to write home about, but we'll definitely keep it. We don't want to work ourselves into a shoot like we did last game. We were able to mulligan to 5 and still win. Zareth was huge. Zareth was massive. Ooh, Fairy Mastermind. I'll take that. All right. Here we go. Stormcarved Coast for our opponent into a River Glide. It's pretty sweet. Fatal Poosh. All right, pass back. Which of these two critters do we want to... Are we more okay with getting countered? That's the question, because... Well, okay, they're just going to... Chrome. Host Seed Shark. That could be a problem for sure. Well, we'll just go ahead and do this. Urborg. We could bounce this, then attack. Let's just do that, right? We've got push. Another Seed Shark, that's fine. Because now we get Shieldred. I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say I don't know of any counter spells that they could have there. Shieldred's going to take him to 17. Yeah, Shieldred's really good in this deck because, I mean, pressure, early game pressure plus late game Shieldred's just so good. Drown in the Loch. All right, well, that can't quite kill this thing yet. We're going to pass for the time being. We've got a Borrower and push, and Shieldred's doing her thing. They've got 7 cards in their hand. Only 2 cards in the graveyard, too, so. Tapping mana here at main phase. All right, so that'll kill off our Thought-Thief, but that's okay because now we can push. And now we can counter something that costs 3 with Drowning Loch. Make disappear. Hopefully they don't have a spell pierce. They do have a spell pierce. Gross. Okay, well. We do not have a answer to that. But we found our answer. Easy peasy, just like we drew it up, right? They did get 3 incubator tokens off of that, though. All right. I'll go to 9. Lightning axe. Sure. These won't fly, so we'll be able to still attack in the air. Paying cost. Come on. What you got, opponent? Treasure Cruise. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Eat their graveyard. Yeah, that's pretty good. Steam Vent's tapped. All right, we'll go Borrower. Cast. All right. Haul definitely helps. Right on time. They go to 6. They're going to hatch an incubator token. That'll most likely be a blocker. We'll see. They did just draw 3 cards, so we're not out of the woods. We haven't got this thing locked up yet. Oh my, tapping all the mana. Treasure Cruise again. Well, I mean, Treasure Cruise is great, and like drawing 3 cards is excellent. Don't get me wrong, but when you're not really doing anything with it, like what's the point, kind of, you know? Oh wow, they're just attacking so they're dead? I'm confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we just get to do this. And then win the game? Am I tripping, or why did they attack? Have at thee. All right, GG's opponent. We go. We start the video 1-0. 1-0 with the Rogues.